right. Welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson, and of course, for the night is Techie with Mrs. Techie Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you this evening?
I'm doing really well. However, I have a question for you.
Oakley dokley. What we got?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
I think kind of not often.
Okay, we are in the minority.
I mean, like, usually if I start thinking about the Roman Empire, it's because something's on television about it. Because, like, you leave YouTube playing and suddenly we get to the Roman Empire. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
apparently, this is a thing.
apparently this is a thing. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, guys think about the Roman Empire quite often.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything's wrong with that. It's just kind
Right.
of like that's weird.
Well,
Like,
I don't know. I think they have a fantasia about gladiators.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. That just seems like I'm not gonna really call it weird exactly like that. It's weird to think about. Like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm sure like there's a lot of things that people commonly think of that we don't really think of
Right.
in terms of like collectively as a society that we don't think people are just sitting out there thinking about this.
Right.
Um, but it is like, why?
Right.
I mean, I'm
Well,
with Brenda. I saw a little bit about this on TikTok. I thought it was a joke.
no, apparently it is not. Coming to you, just but paraphrase, please. If you have an article left over from this publisher.
Let's see if I got any. I do. I do. So yeah, the Washington Post would like us to know why men think about the Roman Empire. Um, got to sign in apparently. One second. Just thank you. So yeah, it's been almost 2,000 years since the Roman Empire reached the historic peak of its power, but many men still contemplate it quite a lot. A new social media trend prompting women to ask the men in their lives how often they think about ancient Rome reveals that it crosses the minds of many men on a weekly basis, even daily or more, to the surprise and confusion of their loved ones. 3 times a day, answered one woman's fiance in a TikTok video. There's so much to think about, he explained, eliciting a stunned look into the camera from its soon-to-be wife. They built an entire world-dominating society, another man exclaimed when asked by a bewildered-looking woman to justify why he contemplates ancient Rome. Actually, I was just having a conversation about their aqueducts and the fact that they had concrete that could harden. How the hell did you know that? Answered another person who said they think about ancient Rome at least once a day in response to the question in a screenshot shared on TikTok. But why? Sure, the Roman Empire boasted a dominion that stretched across the entire Mediterranean basin and far beyond. It was a flourishing laboratory of works of art and engineering that continue to astound, and it operated under a political system that still forms the basis of many modern counterparts. At least that's what this reporter contemplates, maybe once a fortnight. But why does there seem to be a gender divide in who is daydreaming about ancient Rome today? According to historians, one explanation could be that Western societies have historically overemphasized the aspects of Roman history that are associated with masculinity in the popular imagination. The first thing that comes to mind is an image of the Roman legion, the imperial eagle, and that sort of military aspect, along with gladiators, which is a long association with masculinity and power. Hannah Cornwell, historian of the ancient world at Britain's Birmingham University, said in a telephone interview Thursday, since at least the 19th century, she said, historians have tended to view ancient Rome through the prism of politics and warfare, in part as a result of their reliance on elite masculine sources. That has informed popular culture, she said, and yet it's then missing out on so much. The slew of videos on TikTok appear to have been prompted by Artur Hulu, a 32-year-old Roman reenactor and history influencer from Sweden, who has earned a large following, known as Gaius Flavius online, where he posts videos of himself as a Roman legionnaire and performs comedy sketches as a gladiator. Hulu wrote on Instagram, ladies, many of you do not realize how often men think about the Roman Empire. You will be surprised by their answers. In an interview, Hulu said he posed the question after noticing a disparity between men and women in their interest in Roman history and seeing other creators discuss similar trends. Hulu's Roman Reenactment Society, for example, involves 16 men and 2 women. He said it is heavily male dominated. The disparity in interest dates back hundreds of years, Hulu believes. The men during the Renaissance did it. The founding fathers also thought about the Roman Empire. Once you get enough exposure to the Roman Empire, whether it's the military stuff or the law, you start to see it everywhere, he said. I can't remember a day when I didn't think about the Roman Empire. It just fascinates me how different, but also how similar the Roman Empire is to our world today. And Gaius Flavius is not alone. One Reddit user, when prompted by his wife, said he thinks about the Roman Empire a few times a week. So many things in our lives today were influenced by the Roman Empire, he explained in a post. Language, food, philosophy, architecture, war, entertainment, sports, mythology, culture. I don't actively focus on the Roman Empire, but the connection always pops into my head as I go about my daily life. Oh, so historians insist that Rome itself isn't just guy stuff, as some men in videos called it. Ancient Rome was, of course, patriarchal and violent, Lewis Webb, a historian of ancient Rome at Oxford University, wrote in an email. But it was also a diverse place. There were numerous forms of masculinity. Women could have agency and power, and there were multiple gender expressions and identities, as well as various sexualities. Historian Cornwell also points out that the Sextus Varius Avidius Basinius, or Elagabalus, the Roman emperor from AD 218 to 222, is frequently presented in ancient sources as experimenting with cross-dressing. Even when you get to some of the emperors, they're doing weird and wacky things by modern conceptions of what a man is. Cornwell points out there's also female gladiators. The Romans do have a clear sense of what is masculine and feminine, but within that, there is an awful lot of flexibility, which sometimes we often forget about, she said. And she herself, of course, thinks about the Roman Empire quite a lot on a daily basis, as it is her chosen field. Her partner recently told her he thinks about it 1.6 times a month. So what is a healthy amount? Goodness, she said, laughing. I'd really say it depends on what you're thinking about. I'm sorry. I'm just, what? I'm still, what? Oh. Oh. Hey, Shannon.
Oh, Shannon. Yeah, I had to sit here and think, okay, did I miss this, or is this part of that straight dude gene that we just don't get?
I don't know that it's that. I mean, it's not like I've never had moments where, like, okay, I'm thinking about the Roman Empire a lot, but it's usually because I'm reading Mary Renault.
Mm-hmm.
which kind of makes sense. She's an author, a lesbian author who did period fiction,
Mm-hmm.
and a fair amount of it is, based around this whole Roman Empire,
Right.
um, and about Rome. And I can't say I haven't gone off on some Roman tangents,
Right.
but I don't feel like I'm sitting here thinking about it and just being like, wow, Rome did this. Wow, Rome was really like, I don't feel like I sit there and do that even like daily, weekly, monthly, maybe yearly.
Wow.
Like, again, unless like your YouTube veers off and goes Roman
Right.
Empire, then it's like, okay, that's cool, that's whatever, that's weird, that's different, that's so cool. Um, but no, because there is a lot of Roman content.
Right.
Um, but it's just so weird that like of all the things you would think about,
Right.
like frequently, often, significant enough to pay attention to, like
Right.
Rome. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, there's a large forward of stuff from the Roman Empire. It's why
Right.
Roman history is kind of important.
Right.
But still,
Yeah. It caught me, and I was just like, okay, maybe, because I am a glamour bear, and glamour bears don't, miss some things.
oh please, like you wouldn't enjoy a Roman orgy.
Oh, please, honey. I could probably book one next week. It's not like
You
I'm
know,
missing any.
Well, but then again, I wonder how much of this is also inspired by I've got to say that maybe there is a connection to straight culture, because when you do kind of think about it, like frats are really heavy into like toga parties.
Mm-hmm.
Gladiators are a common straight male Halloween costume.
Right.
Sports kind of, well, most sports falls out of the original Olympics, and
I do have one problem, though, with that.
okay,
Here's my
I
problem.
mean, cross country skiing isn't one of them, but
No, this is just my problem. If they're going to practice the Olympics, which was done in Rome, it should be done the same way it was done originally.
again, back to your Roman orgy.
Well, no, no, no. There's this rower, and by golly, I want to see him in classic Roman outfit. Okay, I want to see him row that boat just like the Romans would have.
Okay,
I mean, let me get his name. Exactly, Shannon. Uh,
Chen is taking notes for educational purposes.
yes, I was reading it in Out magazine, and no, not sponsored. But we'll gladly take a sponsorship out.
Well, and then like what was it? What was it? The 300, the 400, or no, no, that wasn't it. Braveheart,
Mm-hmm.
or was that Scottish?
That's Scottish.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting lost. But again, you kind of get like a near time period.
Yeah,
Like we've done a lot of historically things, and I think some of them are based loosely based off Rome, or
right,
they're like Rome next gen,
right,
like post Roman Empire.
right.
Um, Brenda says, I'm not sure that I want to know so many reasons for you to be naked and greased.
Robbie Mason, like we need to see properly to the Olympic 2024 outside of your paywall. Thank you very much.
I just wonder, has it been like a known thing and it just suddenly like someone mentioned it?
I think someone actually just mentioned it.
Like, I mean, because it would make a lot of sense. Because I don't know, I've had moments where I'm like, why is the toga party such a fucking thing? Like,
One, the copious amount of wine, beers, and assistance throughout the night.
so basically, the hedonism
Yeah,
is the general principle. I mean, I get that. I don't know. I like. Don't get me wrong. I do love a good period fiction.
sure.
Like I do. I do. Not all the time. It's not like I daily must read my period fiction,
Right,
but occasionally.
right.
Um, but even at that, it's not like it sets me off on this whole I must go totally explore the Roman Empire and everything you could possibly know about it. Like it has
Right.
never set me off like that.
I don't. Me either. And
But then we have, but like I'm sitting here thinking about like like wasn't Civilization the game loosely built on this Roman Empire concept?
right,
Um, yeah, I guess if you start looking around, it's like there are, and I guess you do have to kind of go as like chicken egg problem. Is it that
right,
people are interested in the Roman Empire, therefore we produce content to fill the need?
right.
Or did we produce content and generate a need
Good
for
question. All right, guys,
the
we're going
Roman
to take
Empire?
a quick commercial break. I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Sandy Starr. I'm a psychic and I work on Keen, and I have been working on Keen for over 22 years. You can reach me on 01068. I deal with a myriad of subjects, but I do specialize in relationships, marriages, divorces, is he cheating, is she cheating, whatever the dynamic of the relationship is, I will guide you through. I've got amazing radar for cheaters, so I will tell you the truth if he or she is cheating. I can help with any subject you need me to help you with besides relationships, and I look forward to hearing from you. Again, you can reach me through Keen. My extension number is 01068. I really look forward to hearing from you and helping you with whatever you need me to help you with.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I'm a psychic medium and I work with tarot cards. I also practice Reiki and access bars. I would like to share with you what a reading with me is like. It is a blended reading of psychic and mediumship, and I deliver these messages exactly as they come through. I'm not going to mince words or add any padding. I am a professional, reliable, and honest communicator. I have readings available anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. You can book a reading with me at tracyvan.com. That's TracyVann.com. And no, I'll always tell you exactly what you need to hear.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
We are back.
Yes.
Yes. So anyhow,
Yes. So yeah, Brenda was pointing out Joe is confusing all his cultures of naked men.
yes, it's a history of them.
I mean, give me a little bit of a leather skirtish thing, and I'm there.
Well,
A nice strappy sandal.
yep. You're more Spartacus. All right, so Apple is issuing an emergency. Why don't you take this one away?
Oh, Apple issues iOS 17 emergency iPhone update. What you should do right now. Apple has issued another emergency iPhone update to patch critical vulnerabilities just days after the splashy release of its latest operating system. If you bought any of the new iPhones, the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, or 15 Pro Max, you should update the operating system immediately. The updates, iOS 17.01 and iPadOS 17.01, address three vulnerabilities, the company said. Apple warned that it is aware of reports that the vulnerabilities may have been exploited in versions of the iPhone operating system before iOS 16.7. Devices affected by the security vulnerabilities are iPhone XS and later, iPad Pro 12.9-inch second generation and later, iPad Pro 10.5-inch, iPad Pro 11-inch first generation and later, iPad Air third generation and later, iPad sixth generation and later, iPad Mini fifth generation and later. Security experts warn that Apple users should update their iOS, iPadOS, and watchOS as soon as possible. It did not provide many details, but credited the discovery of the vulnerabilities to the Citizen Lab at the University of Toronto's Munk School and Google's Threat Analysis Group. So, yeah, I don't think we have a lot on why.
No, they're not releasing why. That's the problem.
So while I'm sitting here,
Yeah, while you're sitting here, get to it.
while I'm sitting here, do what now?
Miss Brenda get to it after the show. Because I know she's an iOS user.
Yes. Yeah, don't interrupt watching us just to go update. I mean, come on, what's going to happen? I mean, just because the techie is over here being like, update now!
Yep.
Like, I'm just saying. Like, we'll be on for a while. It'll probably be a quick update. I can actually tell you how long it's going to take here in a second.
Checking in on our cases. There's been a few.
Let's see. So actually, Apple. Oh. Does it tell me what it does? Oh, here we go. A local attacker may be able to elevate their privileges. Apple is aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited against versions before. The issue was addressed with improved checks. Then there's a malicious app may be able to bypass signature validation. Apple is aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited against versions of iOS before. And processing web content may lead to arbitrary code execution. And also, this may have been published before. Or exploited before, excuse me.
I think this is that air bomb drop thing they're trying to prevent.
Well, possibly, or it may be slightly related. I know they just did some major updates. So the download is already done on my iPad. It is doing prepare update, so that just took a few seconds. So we should know in just a minute. Because I know 17 took forever.
Yeah, 3 days and caught.
Do what now?
3 days and caught us. You needed to take a nap afterwards.
Well, it did. It took a little bit. Oh, so yeah, Brenda's like, I beat you. You know what? It's been a day, okay? Like, I got to my 95% caught up yesterday, and my body rebooted. Like, I don't know what else to call it. My body rebooted. Like, I was done.
Right.
Stick a fork in me, I was done. And so,
Interesting.
then today was a little busy. We had things.
Minnesota, you have a cannabis boss that quit after questions raised about her background.
Uh-oh.
You have a czar of cannabis. Listen to that, people. In your head, us older ones. A czar of cannabis.
West Virginia has a health czar.
We have a health czar. That's standard. It's like, yeah, whatever. But a czar of cannabis.
Just saying. I wonder how professional you have to be for that position. Like, do you have to come in like learned old man?
Yeah. Well, learned woman said, fuck this, I'm out of here. You're going to investigate every damn thing I say.
Oh, Shannon's saying we aren't that legal with marijuana yet.
Yeah.
Like, we're not there yet. No, does West Virginia have a marijuana czar? Well, funny thing.
Uh-huh.
Technically, Raul Gupta, the former chair of the West Virginia Medical Cannabis Advisory Board, who also served as the lead on drug policy in Biden's presidential transition team, is being selected, this is from July 13th, 2021, to head the Office of National Drug Control Policy as the White House drug czar. So welcome to West Virginia. Shannon says give it time, and it's called the DEA and ATF. You know,
for the moment.
But no, I'm curious. Yeah, no, they only call him a drug czar after he left West Virginia so far in everything I'm seeing. I don't know. When did we start? Oh, wait a minute. We may, well, at least as of 2018, West Virginia's drug czar resigned Thursday. This is 2018, after a little more than 4 months on the job. Jim Johnson, director of the state's new Office of Drug Control Policy. So it's anyone apparently who is the director of the Office of Drug Control Policy in West Virginia is technically the West Virginia drug czar.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I have a question for our audience. As we know, Tropical Storm Ophelia is likely to bring heavy rains to Massachusetts, going to be coming up the coast, hitting North Carolina. You know, it's going in there very well. But here's the bigger question. Has anyone actually called it yet? Tropical Storm Mama Todd?
Dude, what?
Okay, Mama Todd's name is Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
So why shouldn't we be naming the storm Tropical Storm Mama Todd?
Oh God. I don't know. There was a moment she hit tropical storm level, like she was a hurricane.
There's been a few times that Mama Todd has hit hurricane level.
True. So technically, the interim director of the West Virginia Office of Drug Control Policy is Rachel Thaxton. So that would make West Virginia's current drug czar Rachel Thaxton. We have a drug czar in West Virginia.
Good.
Why did we start using czar? I thought it was a dead word. Like, we just talked about it in history, and then it kind of, like, fell off at some point in history, and we just didn't, unless we were talking about Russian leaders, we didn't use the word czar.
Right. See, I think that it's a problem. Yeah.
Did I miss something? Like, am I having a dumb person moment?
I don't think you're having a dumb person.
All right, so the noun czar is an emperor of Russia before 1917, but part 2 is a person appointed by government to advise on and coordinate policy in a particular area. So you can have a traffic czar, but we seem to really love this for drugs.
Yes.
Why do we love this for drugs? Is it what? Well, though technically NASA got a UFO czar. That was in Time magazine 8 days ago.
Yeah, suppose.
What the hell? Why are we using the word czar? Like, who got so excited?
Well,
Like,
a lot of people have gotten overly excited with their titles. I mean, it's like we name snowstorms now. Like, that is the level of classification. We have
all right, we're up to reboot on the iPad and the phone.
Awesome.
Just to update. But no, like, I thought the word just kind of, like, it talks about a period of history, like, up to 1917, and then dead word. Like, we don't, like, I'm not saying it's bad and we shouldn't use it. I'm just saying, like, I thought it died. Like Davenport. Like, unless you're talking about a city named Davenport, which exists, you don't talk about the furniture. You don't just randomly drop, well, lay it on the Davenport.
Well, true. That's because we don't have a Davenport.
Now I have to have a moment because I always get confused. Yes, Iowa. Davenport, Iowa. I knew it was. I thought it was Iowa, but I didn't want to say it and be stupid. Well, actually, technically, we do.
Okay.
And they're technically, it's one term for two totally different pieces of furniture.
Okay.
This is why I get confused. Okay. So yes, it's a sofa and a writing desk. But again, it's a mostly dead term.
Writing desk
Brenda is like, neighbor still uses Davenport. He was born in the wrong century. Which one is he referring to? The writing desk or the sofa? And it's weird. Those were the two items of furniture, and I went, wait, I got to be confused.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, it's a confusing effing word because it means two totally different pieces of furniture.
Right.
But yeah. Like, who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts out there about what are good ideas.
Okay, so Brenda says the neighbor uses it to refer to a sofa.
But no, we don't have a writing desk.
Boxy sofa. That can technically be used towards any boxy piece of furniture.
Ah.
So what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, any piece of upholstered furniture that is large and boxy.
Yeah, we don't have it.
I mean, Argumentatively, we do. I mean,
Really?
we're
Are
looking
you
at it
hiding
through the
a
word law.
boxy sofa around here?
Are we splitting hairs over what that thing is in the living room?
Well, that thing in the living room is not a boxy sofa. At best, it is a lounge.
It's not a chaise lounge.
It's not a chaise lounge, but at best, it's a lounge.
Fair enough. I'm still going to tell everyone that it's a couch. Sit on the couch.
Yes.
Like, duct tape your hands together and sit on the couch. Because I say inappropriate things. That's why I'm a fun dinner party guest. I just randomly blurt shit out.
One of the reasons I love you. At least keep me laughing.
Pardon now?
I said one of the reasons I love you. At least you keep me laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know. But no, when did we bring SAR back?
I remember first hearing it when we had a health czar, COVID czar.
Well, and I thought it was weird. Well, no, technically I think it was health SAR.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, I was like, okay, interesting. Like, you know, weird. But like I honestly I'm with you. I don't think we were using the word, were we? Well, no, 2018 apparently we already were, because that was that one article for drug control policy.
Right.
And West Virginia's former drug czar. I don't know what brought czar back.
I think they ran out of the title and they didn't want to use secretary.
I mean, director of it kind of.
Right.
But then again, I guess drug director sounds weird. I can kind of follow that. Like, did we just.
Okay, we're going to have to go to this one. U.S. Senator Bob Menzies charged with bribery after wads of cash and gold bars are found at home.
Ah. Okay, I'm not the only one. And apparently this happened. There is an article about this from 2008.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's SAR, how a term for Russian royalty worked its way into American government. So I want to read this after the show. I don't want to hold the show up, so I'm going to drop that in the comments for everyone.
Okay.
And we can talk about that later.
Yes. I don't like cross-using terms. We really don't need the Emperor of Coffee to be like the Secretary of, Domestic Affairs.
Yeah, I'm just glad I found an article where I'm not the only one being a weirdo about this. Like, where the hell did this resurgence for the word czar come from?
Right.
Because it's kind of a weird word to have pop back up.
Right. So let's talk about the U.S. Senator of New Jersey charged with bribery twice now.
Right. So let me grab that one. So, U.S. Senator, there we go, Bob Menendez, charged with bribery after wads of cash and gold bars found at home. Prosecutors say the New Jersey governor was given a car after attempting to encourage the nomination of a U.S. attorney in the state that he could influence to drop charges against a business associate of his. Jesus, Bob. Bob Mendez, a Democratic senator in the U.S., has been indicted on charges he took cash, gold, and a luxury car in exchange for alleged corruption. Menendez and his wife are alleged to have handed over sensitive U.S. government information to Egyptian officials, as well as taking other steps to help the country, including ghostwriting a letter that pushed his colleagues to lift a bar on $300 million in aid. Officials also said the senator who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee tried to halt a criminal investigation into an associate by pushing for a U.S. attorney nominee that he thought he could influence. The couple's home was searched, with investigators finding $100,000 in gold bars, as well as $480,000 in hidden cash, according to prosecutors, who revealed the charges against Menendez almost 6 years after a previous criminal case against him ended with a deadlocked jury. Responding, Menendez accused prosecutors of misrepresenting the, quote, normal work of a congressional office and writing, quote, these charges as they wanted, adding he has been falsely accused of accepting bribes and will not be distracted from his work in the Senate. For years, forces behind the scenes have repeatedly attempted to silence my voice and dig my political grave, Menendez said. Since this investigation was leaked nearly a year ago, there has been an active smear campaign of anonymous sources and innuendos to create an air of impropriety where none exists. A lawyer for his wife, Nadine, says she denies the charges. Prosecutors allege in 2020 the 69-year-old lobbied then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to increase U.S. engagement in stalled talks with Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan to build a dam over the Nile following a meeting with an Egyptian official. They said Menendez and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes from 3 business associates, as well as using influence to encourage the president to choose a U.S. attorney for New Jersey who would protect Fred Dabes, a friend and developer who was facing criminal charges. According to the indictment, after Menendez called an official about Dabes, his wife received a Mercedes-Benz from other business associates. The indictment says that after the purchase was complete, Nadine Menendez texted her husband to say, "Congratulations, mon amour de la vie. We are the proud owners of a 2019 Mercedes," with a heart emoji. The New Jersey senator will have to step down from his foreign committee according to party rules. It is not the first time he has faced legal charges. It was in I think this was supposed to have been, he was indicted in 2015 over accusations he used his influence to help an eye doctor from Florida who had been handing over gifts to him. He was eventually cleared of the charges. I mean, you get accused of it once and manage to get out. I would think you'd be really sensitive to being in any situation in which you look like you might be taking money to do stuff that has even questionable legality to it. Like, are we talking about a swag bag? Like, if we're talking about a swag bag, you can take the swag bag. Are we talking about like literal cash with an arrangement, or a car with an arrangement to do a thing? Then maybe don't. Yeah. I think I think if I had already gone through the aggravation of it occurring once, you know what I mean? Like, I would be really careful after that. Like, we don't do impropriety. Like,
Well, I remember it being a thing, like way back when, I don't know, government was government,
okay,
that, you could not even give like the mayor a pound cake because it could be seen as bribing him. What the hell is it? Wads of cash in a car? Sounds like from one of the cases they've tried for one of those charlatans to me.
I mean, I'm just curious how you defend. Like, okay, so the cash and gold bars,
Mm-hmm.
you might could potentially write that one down as like, well, he's 60 some years old. He's afraid of an economic collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And he has bought heavily into like keeping cash and gold, so he can survive the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, one, some of that, like, there is a known issue, especially among wealthy elder populations, of keeping cash on hand. Though he's on the young end of that group, like the extreme young end of that group. Like that's. But okay, fine. Or he's, kind of like a prepper, like he's gone off this, the world is ending.
Right.
Like, you could potentially argue there was a legitimate reason he had that much cash on hand, or that,
he travels a lot. Businessmen have to have cash on hand to deal with things. And the gold bars, oh, those are left over from, I don't know, the Mayflower.
Well, but then you also turn around and have the realization, like, one of the biggest problems we're facing in the US is the lack of, like, ability to use technology amongst our aging and aged representatives,
Right.
that are in many ways totally aloof.
Yeah.
God forbid they write a check. That's as far as they go technologically.
Right.
Like, the idea that they're going to have a debit card and know how to use it,
right.
or email and know how to use it.
Exactly. And see, that's the scary part. They're making regulations for things they do not even understand.
Which we often see in, like, Senate hearings. Like, the Senate hearing for Facebook was just bonkers. And then it got even weirder for, what was it, TikTok?
Yeah.
Where they started asking if it had access to the home's internet. And just the look on the face of the guy trying to answer the question was like, I don't even know where to start. There's so much wrong with that.
Right.
Like, how, and I doubt you have the technical, like, even the glimmer of a technical ability to more precisely ask your question so that I can answer it.
Right.
Oh, Brenda says drug czar makes me think of the highest ranking illegal drug importer. That's cute. That's cute.
And that's debatable, because I think that one changes by the day.
But yeah, no, it's really hard though to I think we're gonna have to wait and see how this case plays out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying he didn't take bribes. I'm just like, and it would seem by all appearances, if he didn't technically take a bribe, then he really learned nothing from being accused of taking bribes before.
Well, I always thought if you charged a mobster, that you'd get better with it.
Do what now?
If, he looks like a mobster. He smells like greasy sausages to me.
I mean,
so,
yeah. Like, he doesn't give strong confidence of like, no, I wouldn't take money for doing illegal things.
Right.
And I mean, granted, we already know that there's a certain amount of legal bribery that already
Right.
occurs.
Right.
Like lobbyists spending money is totally legal, even though it shouldn't be, because fundamentally we're buying politicians.
Right.
But we've called that legal. Then we have like massive corporate-based election sponsoring.
Mm-hmm.
We've called that legal. That's free speech of a corporation because now corporations are people. And then we turn around and even in the legislation that we try to pass,
right.
we effectively, it's an offer you can't refuse, because if you refuse it, your opponent in the next election is going to make you look like a total dick.
Right.
Like, well, it would have brought 4,000 jobs to the state of what the fuck's a who's it. And your opponent runs with that. Voted against jobs for our state. No, I didn't. I voted against shittier legislation that was sweetened, that had a pork fat on it, that would have positively benefited our state, sure, but the legislation itself was like pure garbage.
Right.
Like, I'm not voting for that. Like, I don't care how much sugar you pour on this poor dead animal. Like, I'm not eating it.
Right.
Like, you would have just as much of a, like, because it creates this damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
Like, you either voted for shitty legislation, and it's like, they voted for shitty legislation, vote for me for change. Or it's they didn't vote for this wonderful piece of legislation and cost our state thousands of jobs. Like,
well,
it's
see, here's the thing. They continue to be terrible, in my opinion. Like, okay. I'm so tired of most of our government, and we got a clear example of that this weekend.
Okay. Oh, Lauren Boebert.
Right.
Poor fucking Lobo. I swear to God. Or Bilo. Can we call her
Lobo?
Bilo?
Really, Lobo? Like, sorry. It's bad when, one, I don't vape, I smoke. But two, it's like, girl, come on now. Act like you got some fucking grace and style. Go watch, some documentaries of the Kennedys and figure out how to do it.
But it doesn't sell anymore. Like, the reality is today, I don't think anyone, I think she's doing exactly what, like, voters or her constituent voters want, which is go act like a dumb piece of crap as long as you look like a Playboy centerfold, and we'll just keep voting for you.
You're right.
All right, so Lauren Boebert jokes that she has peacefully parted with Date after they were removed from theater. Oh, Representative Lauren Boebert, our Colorado, said she will not be going on another date with the man she was removed from a musical with in an incident earlier this month. Side note, I do love the fact that it is running around the internets. The most surprising part of the article truly is that she went to a musical.
Right.
Now, hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats. It was, however, we should point out, Beetlejuice. Like, wasn't even highbrow. It was Beetlejuice, the musical.
Right.
Not that I'm throwing off on Beetlejuice. I like Beetlejuice. I think it's a good movie. Like, I would go see it.
After this, I might, not want to watch it again just because
but Boebert and the man were kicked out of the performance in a Denver theater for disruptive behavior. An incident report from the Buell Theater obtained by USA Today said two unidentified patrons received 3 different complaints and were accused of vaping, singing, causing a disturbance. The patrons, the report said, later refused to leave after they were asked to exit the venue, allegedly making statements such as, "Do you know who I am?" Mofos, if you got to say the words, "Do you know who I am?" One, whoever the hell you're talking to does not know. Or two, maybe both, they don't care. GTFO. Oh. So, yeah, Boebert told TMZ at an airport in Washington that, quote, "It's always hard whenever there's gravity put on the voters. I'm here to provide levity and lift burdens off of people." Because how else can you quote Lauren Boebert but to sound like, the Pandalarium woman? "Ultimately, all future date nights have been canceled, and I learned to check party affiliations before you go on a date," she said, referencing reports that the man who appears in surveillance video of the incident with her is a Democrat. "But all in all, it was mostly a lovely time, and I've taken responsibility for my actions." She has not.
Really? She has not. She first
Oh.
lied about it, said it wasn't her, and then they just pulled the film, and she said, "Oh, it was me," and I was she. Yeah, I
It
took the
wasn't.
picture when I shouldn't have.
It wasn't that she lied once. It wasn't that she lied once. Like, you know, even the behavior was forgivable, but then she lied about it. And then it
Yeah,
wasn't once she lied about it. She just kept lying about it, one after another, and then
mhm,
fundamentally had to do a mea culpa that
right,
was not a mea culpa. It was,
right.
my life's so hard, my husband who exposed himself when I was 17 with
In a
a
bowling
dick
alley.
tattoo in a bowling alley in front of a bunch of teenagers. All the wrong with that. My marriage ending, it was just so hard on me. And meanwhile, there's more to the story. She said voters have been understanding that the moment was part of her personal life. "He's a wonderful man, and it was a great time to go out, have dinner, and enjoy part of a show. And now it's back to work," she said. "He's a private citizen, and we have peacefully parted at this time. Great man, great friend, and I wish him all the best." Unsurprisingly, that she wishes him a happy ending, but we'll get there in a minute. The surveillance video from inside the theater later showed the pair touching each other and Boebert vaping, contradicting previous claims from her campaign. Footage also showed flashes from a phone in Boebert's hand as she appeared to take a selfie. After the incident, Boebert joked in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, that she did thoroughly enjoy the amazing Beetlejuice at the Buell Theater, and I plead guilty to laughing and singing too loud. The Denver Post first confirmed the incident. USA Today has reached out to Boebert's re-election campaign for additional information. Oh, but yes, no, she not only did her date grope her, which wasn't hard because, she was basically wearing a backup singer's dress at a Vegas show.
Mm-hmm.
Like the puppies were out on display. They needed leashes. And, she apparently needed to touch the junction of his inseam. Again, all of this on video, which apparently was not obvious to patrons of the Buell Theater until now. I'm sure a lot of people went, "Oh shit," about what the Buell Theater has on camera. Because this isn't your convenience store. Takes a snapshot every few seconds, grainy as hell. We can't identify anyone. No, this is full night vision, like 1080p, like full motion, like no sound, but full motion.
and we'll vote him a 7, maybe a 7.5.
I don't know. He's a chunky guy. He could be packing more and just was.
No, look at the video on your full-size monitor, honey. It is not.
Hey, you know. Meanwhile, like the whole problem with him is apparently he co-owns a bar that hosts an annual drag event.
Right.
Meanwhile, Bobert is all, anti-drag, though she probably personally doesn't give a shit. I'm not sure she can spell drag
quite often.
Well, I mean, it looks like she got most of her fashion tips from a drag queen.
No, that's stripper wear, honey. We wouldn't be caught dead in that cheap shit.
Well, technically, I thought drag and stripper was basically the same department.
Nope.
Okay, good to know. I didn't know that before tonight. I really thought drag and stripper were the same department.
No, 2 separate departments. Oh, 2 separate department stores.
Ooh. Well, good to know. Good to know.
We prefer, real stones and rhinestones and lead beads, and strippers prefer sequins because they follies.
Oh, there you go.
Stop acting like a Republican and doesn't know the difference.
I mean, do they though? It sure is shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seemed to be her plan for the night was how glittery can I be?
More so, how easy can this fall off? Like, I am surprised when she walked out of the theater and fingered the ushers.
Well, flip the finger. Flip the finger. Like, okay, let's not make the story weirder. It's already a wild roller coaster ride. She fingered no one. She flipped the bird.
Yes.
Oh God, the headline now.
Yeah.
I would kill. Well, okay, I won't kill. I'm not gonna do that. But like it would kill me to read, Republican Senator fingers. Oh, it would be great. It would be a great article. Like, I would drop dead in the middle. I'd just read I don't need to see it. I don't need the TikTok. I don't need a YouTube. I don't need a local news. I could just read that article and drop dead in the middle and die happy, because it would just be so absurd yet reasonably could have happened. Like, Onion, don't try to kill me. Don't fuck with me right now. Like, it's been a long 8 years. Okay.
All right.
Just saying, it's been a long 8 years. You could take a bunch of us out at once.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently that got Brenda's attention while cooking. Brought me back to my phone. Oh, poor Senator Below.
I'm telling you, what do we got to do to get term limits and IQ tests required?
Oh, I could deal with low IQ. I just wish they were actively part of the universe we all live in, and not just out dropped off from some space station.
Mm-hmm.
Or a parallel universe, you have village idiots, we have interdimensional ones. Our village idiots are so bad, we are sending them across dimensions. Go fuck up shit over there, or we're okay.
Yeah. Now, did you see where the U.S. military was asking for help for finding an F-35 jet?
Oh, I saw a little bit about that, but I didn't catch all of it. Like, I started to read and I got distracted with something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were doing
let's
some
see.
training,
Okay. And they just lost an F-35.
and the pilot had to eject.
Okay.
And apparently they couldn't find it.
All right.
Like it crashed and they had no clue where it went.
Oh. Well, they did find it.
Right.
Oops. Well, I mean, it was a stealth fighter jet. Like, that's a good reason.
Right.
Oh, so yeah, it was they lost it from it was missing for more than 24 hours before its wreckage was found in rural South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. I mean, it's funny, but I get how you lose a stealth plane.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to be able to find it. Is it Where's Waldo? If you if you can just find it, it's
Right.
not stealth.
Right.
Though it was possible after he ejected it had been left. They're not sure, but it was possible it was left on autopilot.
Probably. But you're telling me that an $80,000 or $80 million jet does not have a freaking Apple L Air stuck on it? That
An
my
AirTag?
phone, AirTag, my phone has more secure technology in it than our F-35s.
Well, no, again, like, this is the point of stealth aircraft, is if you can find it, you fucked up somewhere on the stealthiness.
Well, someone should throw a cell phone in its compartment.
It's like it's like an invisible man dressed up as Where's Waldo, or as Waldo, I guess would be the better way to say that. But an invisible man dressed as Waldo is like, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you failed.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think it would be a fun Halloween costume. Just saying. It would. Where's Waldo from the neck
Where's the
down?
jet? Mm-hmm. Where's the jet?
What do you mean, where's the jet? They found it.
Yeah, where's the F-35? Like, someone has to find an F-35.
Yeah, no, the internet lit up on it. I mean, it truly is. But yeah, so when Joint Base Charleston in South Carolina asked for the public's help to find the jet, the internet lit up with memes like, dude, where's my F-35? And expressing astonishment that an aircraft with stealth mode capabilities could, in fact, vanish so stealthily. How in the hell do you lose an F-35? Representative Nancy Mace, our South Carolina, asked in a social media post. How is there not a tracking device and we're asking the public to what? Find a jet and turn it in? I mean, it seems absurd. It really does, but it's kind of one of those moments like, basically, like, hi, we'll come pick it up. Like, our military now sounds like Enterprise Rent a Car. We'll pick you
Well, excuse me, but our freaking Enterprise Rent-A-Car can tell you where the car is, up to the minute.
But their point isn't to rent stealth vehicles.
Really? Have you seen a white car they rent out? That thing could blend in anywhere.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Like, I'll give you that one, but still, like, the idea isn't for no one. Literally, the F-35 is built for maneuvers in which it should not be seen.
Right.
So, again, it's not supposed to, like, show up.
Right.
It's supposed to. Where's the plane?
Right.
Like, that's the point. Is like, where's the plane? We don't see the plane. We don't hear the plane. We don't notice the plane. So yeah, if you have to ditch one, it does bring up the valid point of you thought a needle in a haystack was hard to find. Have you tried to find an F-35?
Well, it does my little heart good because, you know, I lose our car. Every time we go to certain places, it just blanks out of memory where we parked it, to the point that I've now began taking pictures.
Oh, no. But now, notably, like, you have had that with every vehicle.
Except one.
Okay, except one. Which was it? The Explorer?
Yes, I could find that sticker everywhere.
But yeah, well, it was candy apple red. It's like, you know, the big red dot. Look
Right.
for the big red dot in the parking lot. It's got to be one of those.
Right.
Well, it's true.
Right.
So, yeah, no. But, oh, and the number of times you almost got into the wrong Kia Soul.
Again, someone's anti-bumper sticker behavior.
Yeah,
Sure.
he has a point. Like, my car does not have anything on it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't put one of the, like, a cute little tennis ball or, you know, a sticker or something. It's just like, no, I press the button on the remote if I'm confused.
Right.
Like, I generally know where I park because I'm kind of repetitive about that.
True, including the same gas pump.
Yes, generally.
Yeah.
I have a favorite gas pump. What can I say? And it's different at every gas station, which I know is weird, but I do. I have a favorite gas pump. It's usually the one closest to the door.
I mean, they lost an F-35. Like, come on. This isn't just like, oop, I forgot where I parked it at. This is, no, we lost the sucker. Did anyone see it? Can you, like, help us locate a plane crash?
Well, you know, generally you get phone calls when that happens, but unfortunately they lost it in rural South Carolina, so it's like, no, really, can someone look for it? Like, let us know if you see anything. Like, see something, say something. We've lost a plane. Like, no, really, we lost the plane.
Now, can you imagine the other side of this? Okay, because every community has one. There's people that report the unidentified flying objects all the time, which, by the way, guys, stop reporting them. Like, they know they're there. They've already scheduled their landing. They've already chosen their victims. They know it's occurring, okay? So you can stop reporting it, save yourself some time and agony. But can you imagine the 911 call? Yes, we just saw a plane crash. Yes, we know it's the same plane crash we've reported 40 times now. I want you to come out and take a damn look at it. It's an unidentified object that crashed.
Yes. Although we did misstate something. It is not an $80 million plane.
Okay.
It's a $140 million plane.
Well, USA Today, you misstated that.
Yeah, NBC News quotes it at a $140 million.
Yeah. you imagine the insurance payout on it?
I mean, is there an insurance payout?
There should be. I mean, hell, we can't afford to be replacing these things. We got to put insurance on.
Yeah, but how quickly does that policy claim get denied when it's like, no, literally, it was an act of war and you started it?
Well, this wasn't even an act of war. This was an act of stupid.
Well, no, I'm just saying, though, the United States showing up to be like, hi, I would like the insurance, please. Like,
Yeah.
Is it an act of war? Because we don't cover that.
Yeah.
And it's potentially, using it to perpetrate a crime, and it's potentially, doing any number of things that are like under your standard insurance would be like, no, we don't cover that.
Right.
No.
I bet we'd get some insurance laws changed real fast.
I mean, that begs the question: is like, do you get AAA with a Humvee?
Right.
Like are our soldiers stuck on the side of the road because they ran out of gas, calling AAA like, hi? So funny thing, I need a can of gas in Beirut.
Yeah.
I'm, over here, like, turn left at the bombed out. Like, your tow truck will arrive in 72 to 96 hours. Please wait. More importantly, are you in a safe location? No! I'm sorry, that's wrong. I shouldn't make that joke, but I'm just trying to imagine. I'm trying to imagine the conversation one would have AAA for our military.
I think it'd be hilarious.
And then, like, do you answer the question, like, are you in a safe location? Do you answer that in relative terms or, like, normal people terms?
Good question.
Because if I'm having to call AAA because I'm in the military, broke down in, like, somewhere in the Middle East, I'm like, no! Is my reaction, but I mean, like, no, we've already cleared the minefield and the suicide bombers are like 4 or 5 miles away. We're fine. Like, I can't imagine. Either that or do they get them OnStar?
They should give him OnStar.
Like, OnStar, how can we help you? Hi, I need directions to the infidel. What? Like, there's a military contract that GM needs to look at. Ops, command ops.
Right.
OnStar, how can we help you bomb a country today? I'm sorry, this got so weird, so wrong, so fast. And Brenda says, would your location be BFE? Literally!
Okay. So I went a little bit deeper into this story. It is fucking hilarious, this fucking 911 call.
I'm sorry, there's a 911 call?
Yes! Like, the dude landed in somebody's backyard.
Well, dude didn't. The plane did.
No, he did.
Oh, what?
The emerging details from the 4-minute phone call made by a military pilot on an emergency to an emergency dispatch shows he was pleading for medical help after he ejected from the F-35 fighter jet and into a South Carolina resident's backyard. The resident of a home in North Carolina first tells the dispatcher, "We got a pilot in our house. I guess he landed in my backyard, and we're trying to see if we can get an ambulance to the house, please."
Like, okay, I could see that as a 911 dispatcher's like, what do you? Huh?
Then the pilot gets a little in. "Madam, ma'am, a military jet crashed. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the plane is. It would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected."
And you know, this 911 operator is supposed to be professional all the way through. And there's got to be in the back of my head, you what the fuck? Why
Yeah.
me? Why me? Why?
Right.
There's so many other people this could be happening to right now. But you know, it's got to be that 911 operator that's like, oh, y'all aren't going to believe what happened at work today.
What's even worse is this F-35 jet flew 60 miles from here to Charleston without a pilot.
Again, autopilot's great. Like, this is part of the concern of like Teslas, that
Right.
potentially we're getting to an AI driven future in which grandma with her self-driving car gets in at her house to come over for Christmas or Thanksgiving and dies, and then the car will continue.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that grandma, the occupant, is dead. And then like, grandma's here. Grandma.
Government Accountability's Office F-35 aircraft performing far below program goals. What the hell? It flew 60 miles without a pilot.
Yes. Well, and apparently the plane may have also auto ejected. Because apparently it's built to do that.
Right.
To determine that the conditions the plane is under are not sustainable, and a crash is imminent, and it try to safely eject the pilot.
Right.
So yeah, there were some questions there as to whether or not the pilot was ejected or the pilot ejected.
Well, in his statement, he says he ejected. I ejected.
Okay. Well, but still, that could mean the either or.
Right.
Like, once you are forcefully thrown out of the plane, you are ejected.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter if you press the button or if the plane decided, okay, I'm throwing you out here.
Right.
Like, you know.
Anyway, reassembling the F-35 segments elements to determine government and contractors' responsibility, and any required technical data was recommended, making final decisions on the changes of the F-35 segments to address performance and affordability. The Department of Defense has reviewed and considered all of the recommendations, says Jeff, spokesman for the department. But dude, six is falling below accountability at six flying by itself for 60 miles before crashing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want it to do? Fly by itself 100 miles before crashing?
Well, no. It's not about that. One, potentially, like, this may have been a high-speed plane. So 60 miles. Well, and then you also have to go, is that 60 air miles or 60 land miles? Because that's a way different number.
60 land miles.
Yeah, and if you're talking about, you know, like, even if it were an average plane, Like that's very quick to do.
Understandable, but still, it's like, okay, it does not have LoJack. Why it does not have LoJack is beyond me. Like, that seems like that would be number one on the add to cart list.
Stealth plane.
LoJack. That when the cockpit blows out, then it activates.
Oh, fair enough. Well, but then again, depending upon the mission these planes are on,
This was a
you
training
really
mission.
don't want to draw attention to the downed plane.
Well, understandable. At the same time, you don't want to draw attention to the down plane. It might be able to be good to be able to find it with its nuclear weapons if it had them. This
Well,
one,
but then
according to my
again,
training mission, so had none of that. But still,
well, but then there's the theory of like you can't exploit what no one can find.
oh yes, you can. They're lucky this did not end up as part of a steal somewhere, like Brenda pointed out. Or better yet, the new parts to Bucky's, garage.
Well, I mean, you want a tank. Wouldn't you also like an F-35? Like,
I wouldn't mind an F-35. I would like
I
one,
wouldn't mind.
not this one.
I'm just going to tell you now, they don't do pre-op. Well, they do, but they don't do like, when you go to the gas station and it's like, can you just pre-op like 40? They don't do that for planes.
You understand? I don't pre-off anything because I personally like my debit card and do not like scammers to have it. Like, I don't use the pay at the pump feature ever.
No, that's an authorization hold.
Again,
Like you do pre-auth and then they final transaction. That's how, like, if you pre-auth 40 and it takes 37, you get the $3 back.
I get that. I know what that is, darling.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. What
I'm just saying they don't do that for planes. It's like fill her up. That's your choice. Fill her up. Just
again,
no,
but at the same time, it's like no, thank you. Um, I have, if I want a plane, I want like Air Force 3.
okay.
I don't want the president's plane. I don't want the vice president's plane. I want the first lady's plane.
Okay, fair enough. Like you want the bedroom and the whole shebang.
Yes.
Gotcha. I get it. Like, the F-35 is a little bougie.
The F-35 is not bougie. It's freaking stripped down. There is no like full garment tea service. There is no nice linens in the damn thing.
Exactly. Original meaning of bougie.
Yeah. Like, it's slumming.
It is.
Yeah.
And you can be apparently thrown out at any time. Like the plane just decides, you're done. Like it's a fucking Pop-Tart.
Well, that could be useful, I could use that feature a lot in my car. Like, can I get that installed on the passenger seat?
No. Yes. Actually,
Yes.
because that's what you said. What? I'm not volunteering for ejection.
No. Do you have it installed on our car?
I know. You sit in the passenger seat all the time.
Because you drive. I'm saying when I drive, I have the option of getting rid of the passenger.
So, like, this grinder hookup didn't go well.
Bing.
Yeet you right out of the car.
Exactly.
Thank you for playing. Good luck.
What? Well, it was a car that had.
What was it, Knight Rider? Or the Batmobile? I think Batmobile.
It's one of the two.
Maybe both. They had a lot of features. Sometimes they didn't really tell you about it until they needed the story arc.
Batman's had it.
Uh-huh.
Which Batman's yeah, that's the real one. And let's check out my product.
I don't know though. I'm kind of interested in Brenda's distress signal. Are we talking about like it beams out to the mothership with like I'm over here? Or are we talking about like when a bus goes off-roading or just generally down the street and has that big giant strobe light? Like, ha, just in case we leave the road, dead kids over here. Like, because that's what that light's for.
Yeah.
Like, in case it slides off a mountain, which can happen, especially in West Virginia.
Kit did not have ejectable seats.
Nice. Well, at least Michael Knight, no matter how bad the date was, did have to drive you home. Well, at least Kit did, and like open the door and
Without
ask you politely to get out. Couldn't be like, bye, bitch. Paching! Call me. I think we want to come in. Brenda, distress signal. It radios back. Mommy, help. I've got a boo-boo. Mommy, help. I've got a boo-boo. Mommy, help. I've got a boo-boo. I swear to God, we've not been drinking.
Not yet.
Oh, after this show.
Right. So, what do you got for being an asshole?
Oh, I didn't get that far.
All right.
I'll take the magical wonder of eeny, meeny, miny. Ooh. Sorry, I was looking through. I wasn't finding any good ones off the top.
I really hate the ads.
Ooh, this might be a good one, and it's very on topic.
Okay.
All right, send it over in private. Am I the asshole for not apologizing to a man for saying his obsession over coffee was abnormal? I, female 27, was running late to work yesterday and stopped to get my coffee at insert national orange and pink coffee chain instead of the local little coffee or local shop I go to. I live in Brooklyn, so there's a lot of great places for coffee, but not all of them are speedy. This place's coffee isn't half bad anyway. Plus, they have donuts. Enter coworker Parker, who is a self-proclaimed coffee snob. Parker is my age. He saw the cup on my desk and started teasing me. The first time I was like, haha, I know. And that was that. Parker didn't stop though, and it felt less like teasing and more like just being rude. He started going off on my taste, how I wouldn't know good coffee if it hit me in the face, how I was crazy to drink that trash at various points throughout the day. Finally, at lunch, he was like, "You should really just let me make you something so you can actually appreciate good coffee." And like, we have a small kitchen where he keeps a mocha pot and beans, and it sounded unbearable. I said, "Parker, it is not normal to be this intense over a cup of coffee." And a few of my coworkers who were sitting next to me snorted. We all kind of exchanged looks as he made his own coffee. This morning on the elevator, it was just Parker and me, and he said, "I was very embarrassed by what you said yesterday. I'm very passionate about coffee." I said, "Okay, but you don't need to be rude about it to me." And he said, "It hurt my feelings, and you should apologize." He then divulged that he is autistic and coffee is a special interest of his. I didn't want to apologize, but this is making me rethink it. If anything, to keep the peace. I don't know if I should. Will I be the asshole if I don't? Edit, it was Dunkin' Donuts. I've gotten a few comments as to why I wrote it the way I did. I've seen so many things like chain that rhymes with Farbucks, etc. I thought it was an actual rule, laughing my ass off. Joe is broken. Yes, I'm broken. I'm broken.
Yes, you are an asshole. One, for commenting on coffee consumption. Secondly, for not accepting a friendly offer of coffee. And third, for, just being a dick.
I feel like OP already had an inkling
Mm-hmm.
that maybe not a clearly defined idea that Parker was autistic,
Mm-hmm.
but had an inkling.
Mm-hmm.
I Here's the thing. Fundamentally, I understand your frustration. I do. It is kind of annoying, frustrating, however you want to word it, when people get really in your face about your choices. And I get that. I get that. At the same time, um, I think you got really defensive over what really sounds like normal office behavior. Like, I'm sorry, like we all have office people that we have worked with that are just over the top about something. Like, whether it's the guy who goes on and on and on and on and on about the football game, or the guy that goes on and on and on and on and on about his car, whatever it is, or the woman who goes on and on and on about her multi-level marketing thing that she's in because, oh my God, it'll change your life. I think there's a line in the sand where it goes too far. I don't think this hit it.
I don't think it came closer because this is the way I see it.
Okay.
All right. Now, we both worked in offices with little kitchenettes that have basically the basic equipment, if put together correctly, to make dinner or lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
You're eating the I pissed my husband's off peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. Your office mate, the one you threw ketchup at, walks in, looks and goes, "That's not lunch. Let me fix you lunch." And goes over to make you lunch. You, however, insult her and walk out of the office, out of the lunchroom.
Yeah, no, I don't think, no, like, I'll just out her. Like, I'm not walking out if Sherry's offering to make lunch. No.
Okay.
Like,
That's
I'd
what
be
you
really
said.
appreciative. Now, I have been in, like, I've so screwed up one morning. I walked out of the house without my wallet. I did not pack lunch. Like, I was all set up for, like, well, guess we're not doing that today.
Right.
and like my boss was like, I'll get lunch, don't worry about it. And it's like, no, really, you don't have to. Like, it's fine. Like, and it went back and forth a few paces, but at the same time, and there was some criticism of you cannot go the entire day without food.
Right.
Because it was pretty well established at this point. I wasn't doing breakfast in the mornings. Yeah, wrong show to make fun of a coffee obsession. I think we could still. I think we're still trying to be objective here. Like, I think there's a line where you go from like, I have a really intense interest to like, okay, no, really stop.
Yeah.
Like, I there's a line there. I don't think this is quite there.
Yeah.
Like, I think, but and again, this comes with the caveat of, but I'm pretty sure you already had some clues. I think the expression was probably because of the autism a little like off.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's kind of your first dawning clue that, hi.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Right.
That this interaction is going awkwardly. I like the fact that this then turned into other people are laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm sorry, you're the asshole.
Yep.
Like,
but anyway, the poll is up. Feel free to vote how you choose.
Yep.
On over to poly relationship advice.
Oh, fun. Oh, what do we got over here? Schedules. Originally, I would do the grocery shopping after work on Fridays, and my wife and I would reserve the day for us. But recently, it's been difficult to find the specific formula my daughter needs. Last week, things came up, and I had to do the shopping on Saturday. And what do you know? They have a small amount of formula. So I'm thinking they restock it on Saturday morning. But moving the shopping and our reserved day around is causing havoc with our partners and our already established schedule. I know it's just going to take time to get used to, but God, it's difficult. I'm honestly just venting right now. No need for advice. And then everyone shows up with advice.
Well, no. There's only a few posts on this.
Okay.
This is a little bit of frustration, but I also want to say, you have some things. Schedules change, people change, things change. You bounce fucking shopping around the house. Like, everybody has done fucking grocery shopping.
Yes.
Yes. But there's
Well,
also
and
this
depending
lovely,
upon the situation and everything, yeah.
Right. There's also this lovely, like, local grocery pickup, Instacart, whatever. And I think that's like the polymorphous stream.
In many instances, yes. And I think I kind of see where you're going is like, if you can't integrate it directly,
Right.
then just order it on Saturday for delivery and pay the $5.
Exactly.
Like, or order it on Amazon, have it delivered. Order it from wherever and have it delivered, and just work around the problem.
Right.
Because, like, I can see some things there that, like, is it really worth it to change your whole schedule
Mm-hmm.
because of one item, when for one item you could just do this differently?
Right. And get it like delivered or picked up, or another partner can run by and grab it.
Yeah, like, integrate it into another activity. It's one item. It's one item.
Right. And here's the thing is, the partners should all be trading off on this, in my opinion. apparently, formula, if it comes in on Saturdays, great. Someone on Saturdays can grab donuts in the formula. We've done this
Yeah.
in changing things off and grabbing stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I could understand if you're going to totally, like, because I understand this is a routine. This is what you and your partner do.
Right.
And if you were talking about, like, I'm going to totally ditch my partner, I'm totally going to not do this with them anymore.
Right.
Like, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem. One item, however, is not a total, I ditched my partner. Right. That's like, yeah, for convenience sake, we're doing this one item differently.
Right.
Like, I mean, this sounds like if you and your partner went to Denny's every Saturday morning.
Right.
Does that preclude you or create a problem if you and another partner go to Denny's? Because that's your thing with them, or if you take someone else to Denny's, is that a problem? Because I think you're attaching a lot of meaning where it's like, I mean, I wouldn't go calling it our place with two partners. That might get a little like, wait, that's our place. Right. And I know this is a lot about a Denny's, but just as an example.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't try to make it, like the we all have the same our place and it's this Denny's. But it doesn't mean you can't ever go to it just because you took a different partner there.
Exactly. And then the other part of this, and this is what gets me, and this is, it's one of those little things that kind of sits in your mind. So I've made comments before, if we ever get a child, it's mine, get over it. Hand it here, thank you very much, go away. Is that it's like saying, oh, just because we have a child now, we can't go and do things, or, just because, and it's like, no, everybody gets to pitch in and wash bottles and change diapers. We're past that point of, well, it's, this one's responsibility or that one's responsibility.
Well, in a lot of ways, yes. And even the things one claims, it's like, but it's okay if someone else does that.
Yeah.
Like, you can still have the thing,
right,
and someone else does it too, or it gets done a different way. Like, it's not like you quit raising a child because you're not the one who took them for photo day.
Yeah.
Okay, like, that's not how that works. It's not like, well, you didn't show up for this one event, so not your child anymore. Like, parenting denied.
Well, but see, this is what gets me, and it's, and we even done this during the pandemic when there was a shortage. Everybody, like, your partner network should know. Well, here's the example. Okay, I was stuck on this one call. Every one of my partners was checking their Walmarts for this coffee. Why isn't the other partners not getting this baby's formula?
Yeah, you have minions.
Use them.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know maybe that comes across a little kitchen table, maybe more than some poly situations are.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't see the problem.
No.
Like, it doesn't mean you have to be kitchen table on it. It's just like, hey, we need formula for this kid and we're struggling to find it. Someone figure out where to find it. Like, we would be thrilled.
Right. Oh, tomorrow is Jeff and Sandy's day. So Jeff hits Kroger's on the way of picking up Sandy and grabs 3 things of formula and drops it off as he's picking Sandy up.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you just suddenly got integrated as a third parent.
Right.
It's not the same as, like, do you want to watch the conception video? Do you want to join us in our video or in our bedroom and try for another? Like, that's not, Like, no,
Right.
those are clear examples of like, okay, no, that's a little more integrated than anyone wants to be.
Mhm.
And that's understandably that's kitchen table-ish behavior
Right.
or beyond. This is like, hi, I'm looking for this thing. I can't find it. Can any of you guys?
Right.
Just a bug in your ear if you see it.
Right. You know, it was I think part of the partner group that was doing the formula hunt.
Yeah, and like that was so many layers out. I forget.
No, that was Tracy. Tracy's
Oh
friend
yeah, it was.
it was on a Pacific formula, and we were using our poly network for that one.
Mm-hmm. Like anyone can find this. Please let us know.
Right. Like we will give you the address to ship it to. Do not ship it to the house.
Yeah, or we'll find a way to get it there,
Right.
but it needs to like ASAP.
Right.
Like,
You know, that's the benefits of having the poly network.
oh yeah.
You
And
know,
I think that's one of the poly benefits in general
right.
is like, no, this isn't all on one person, like in monogamy. Like,
Right.
I can't find our kid's formula. Like, good luck to you. May the odds be forever in your favor. It's just the two of us,
Right.
and good luck.
Right.
I mean, but even within that, does it matter if like your sister-in-law finds it? Does it matter if your mother-in-law finds it? Does
Right.
it matter if your third cousin finds it? Or someone in their mommy and me group?
Right.
Who cares? You found it. This is, it doesn't matter who bought it. It doesn't change like the nature of the like we didn't just renegotiate parentage here.
True. But at the same time, I'm like, what's the issue? Like, why is this a poly? Like, this shouldn't be the poly issue.
No, I think if you're at this level, you need to reevaluate and back off.
Mhm.
Like you really need to adjust.
Yeah.
Like you're you're locking in on stuff that's like, are you just trying to start an argument?
Are you just trying to make things difficult for you? Because I think sometimes poly people make things more difficult than they have to be, especially newer poly.
Mm-hmm.
Newer non-monogamy gets very difficult.
Yeah, and I thought, well, and sometimes I think there's an oversensitivity.
Right.
Like especially when you're with someone and you're with others and you're trying to distinguish a relationship from other relationships, because granted, no one wants the copycat,
Right.
that uses like babe for everyone, who like tries to like buys the same Christmas gift for everyone, who you know goes on the same place for a date with everybody, you know like
Right.
the copycat thing gets really like, so I'm a clone
Right.
in your mind.
Right. Or
Like, no,
replaceable
you need
in
some
your mind.
specials.
And that's when it's like, no, not really. That's not how that works.
Yeah. And it's not like you're asking someone to come babysit. Like, oh, advantage of polyamory is free child care. Like, no, this isn't child care. This is like, dude, I need to buy this thing and we can't fucking find it.
Right.
Or we're struggling, or it's making our life difficult somehow. Like, if you happen to see it,
Right. Or trade off. What I mean by
yeah,
trade off is this. Look, me and partner A need some time alone. Can you take care of this baby and you get Thursday?
yeah. Well, there's definitely that.
Right.
If you're in a poly situation, which childcare is, something someone's interested in.
Right.
Because now there are people in situations where it's like, no, no, that's a boundary.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing childcare.
Right.
Like, you know, we're not, friends with benefits, and childcare is one of them.
Right.
Like,
But, I could see that being a trade-off in a situation.
yeah.
You
Well, and I could definitely
all
see it in an
babysit for you guys,
emergency.
you
Like,
babysit for us.
well, I could see it in an emergency. Like, oh my God, we were just out on a date. We got involved in a car accident. We've had to be taken to the hospital. Can you please go to the house and like relieve the babysitter? That's an emergency. That's a legit ask. Like, that's not about childcare. That is about, this is a horrific accident
Yeah, but no, what I'm
situation.
talking about is, let's back that up a bit. I could see this actually being the formula. If you have switching off monocouples, switching off straight couples, we'll watch them Thursday night, and you two can go out. You two watch them Friday night, and us two can go out, and then we just switch it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works in a box. Like where there's like all equal relationships, or where there's like a swapping.
Right.
Like, what is it? The X?
Yeah.
Like the X configuration, basically
Correct.
trading spouses configuration. And it works in the box where there's all like unilateral relationships occurring.
Right. Because that's what other groups do.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a moment and talk about a hinge that's failed.
I knew this was going to make it on the show. I knew it was going to make it. Pardon?
So fucking bad.
Oh, yeah. All right, bring it over.
Let me bring it up. It's Sister Wives. I know you've heard the things.
Oh, is it Sister Wives?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, I thought there was another one that ticked you off so bad. Because it's like, no, bad hinge, bad hinge, bad hinge. Why are you starting this? Bad hinge.
No, it's Cody. He's been failing for a while.
Okay.
Guys, when we talk, like, if you want to see the example of poor fucking him, this is a terrible one.
Oh.
I'm at Robin's house. I'm at my office in Robin's house. Excuse me?
So Sister Wives star Janelle Brown says Cody told her he wasn't attracted to Christine for years before their split.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Janelle, is there a specific point you want me to go to?
No, I'm like, this is just so many pieces of fucking terrible things.
Okay, so we'll just read
this article. Can't even just cover.
Okay.
You've been saying
it. Do I now?
You've been saying it. I want free discussion. You've been saying it. I've been watching the recaps. I've even watched some of the show. But Janelle is handing him his ass.
For good reason. He is an ass. There is plentifulness of ass to be handed.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I struggle with him on like, what have you done right? Like, can I fit it on a Post-it? And not have like a lot of space left.
No. Let's see. Favoring Robin is issue 1.
Yeah, favoritism is generally at best hierarchical, Polly.
Right, but she is. If we fit it into try to do hierarchical, it fails.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean by that is the test of hierarchical means that there's an agreed, perceived hierarchy, like first wife, second wife, third wife, fourth wife.
Yeah.
So it fails that test because she's the last one
Mm-hmm.
in it. So they're not
So at best, it's flavor of the month wife.
Latest shiny piece.
Right.
Latest shiny object syndrome is
Yeah.
what Janelle pronounced him with last.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good that they finally showed her fighting him. Because we've seen rumors that Janelle fights Cody. We've heard, they filmed the niceties.
Mm-hmm. And then everything else hits the cutting room floor because that doesn't sell the narrative.
Right. However, she fucking told him off last time.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's meaning to tell him, no, I want to remain separate from you. We can get counseling, but I want to remain separate from you. And he's going, oh, but, I don't understand why it's this way. Hello, dude. Let me explain this to you by number.
It's like, do you want it alphabetical, categorical? Do you like, do you want it ranked?
Yeah. I don't want to be with you because you're an ass, because you've treated everyone like shit, because you've not called any of my damn children for Christmas or their birthdays.
Yeah. You went to one wedding but refused to go to a different event or to a funeral, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't want to go with your daughter to surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, definitely some fair weather daddy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when it's all happy and good and it involves Robin,
Right.
everything's great and wonderful, and of course we should do that.
Right.
And if it involves others and or it's a negative,
Mm-hmm.
then no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very like it's incredibly lopsided. Like, even
Right.
more than hierarchical would suggest, even if, like, okay, we're doing some weird version of hierarchical.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. It would still be weird. Like, and then there's the house favoritism. Like, two of the wives got their houses built. The third one was still living in an RV, and they're
No, two of the wives rented house. One wife bought a house.
right.
Was paid to buy a house. Second wife was renting a house, but was paying out of her own rent.
Right. And then the third wife was living in an RV, having had her money used as a down payment on the house they bought.
Right.
With, like, the expressed intent that, like, that was just, some juggling.
Right.
And that, like, they were going to get this straightened out. And that it was
Right.
like, oops, we forgot about you.
Yeah. And then, the other part of it that pisses me off is that he's running from wife to wife to wife talking shit about the other one.
Yeah.
Okay, but the wives had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This is what got me. The wives had a conversation about the buying of Robin's house. And Janelle told Robin, I'm uncomfortable with this. I don't think we can afford this. It's going to keep us from paying for Coyote Pass. We should just rent. Robin runs and tells Cody this private conversation, and then Cody uses it for ammo in a fight.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Like, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, it's generally a bad idea.
Right.
And that's whether you're poly or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, playing two against the middle is never
right.
a good game to play with people ever.
Right.
Like two against ones, or like speaking out of turn, basically.
Right.
Like, this was a private confidential conversation in which I said,
right.
And then that in turn got manipulated into something that I didn't say.
Right.
That then became the basis of an argument.
Mm-hmm.
in which I'm having to try to defend myself against the thing I didn't say.
Right.
The way that it was told to you that I said it, based on principles that had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Because it got put through a filter and turned into something else.
Well, here's a great example. We go car shop.
Mm-hmm.
You and the invisible is unhappy, is uncomfortable with the car choice that we're. But we make it any. Then a year, you know, and you and the invisible have a conversation over, I don't think we should buy this car. We can't afford this car. It's going to stop us from putting the offices in.
Yeah. And I turn around and say, well, the invisible said.
Right. To me.
Right. And what I version it as is the invisible doesn't want us to buy this car because they think you're a loser and you're just not going to be able to pay for it. And, you know, like they just have all these issues with you and, you know, you just shouldn't ever do this. And I don't know why they are so unsupportive of you.
Right. And me, you know, meaning
and
you.
Me, like they don't want us together.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't what was said.
Yeah. That wasn't
that
what
is
was
not
said.
In the realm of what was said. Like, I'm afraid that we can't afford this. Sounds nothing like.
Right. You know, granted, this was a $10 million house.
Which, I mean, low-key kind of ridiculous. Especially when, are you in a position to buy 3 of them?
4 at the time?
Oh, excuse me, 4 of them? Do you have 40 million?
Yeah.
Do you have the ability to get 40 million in a very short amount of time?
Right.
No? Then this is not right for you.
Sure.
Like, again, and here's my thing with Cody is he just hits this narcissistic love bombing nightmare button for me, where it's like the most, I mean, granted, polyamory, but generally it would be a serial monogamist who, like, everything started out so great in the beginning.
Right.
And then the ex-wife is like, I've seen this show. Like, I'm over here in a double wide with well water and the well's broken. But yeah, you take her on that, like $100,000 vacation and you buy her that car.
Right.
While you claim you can't pay your child support. Like, I've seen this shit.
Sure.
Like, I've been through it. His last ex-wife went through it. The ex-wife before that went through it. And oh yeah, we got told how crazy she is. Like, but no, this is happening sort of in parallel.
Right.
But it's clear as day.
Right.
It's kind of happening in stages. And sort of out of order.
Right.
But it's still happening. It's the same thing. It's my crazy baby mama. It just,
Right.
No, honey, you're the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Like, I didn't really love those other women. What the hell? And generally in polyamory, like, trying to compare relationships is a bad idea.
Well, there's no way to compare because every relationship is.
Well, yeah, and granted, there is this big push for all the relationships to be equal sometimes, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't exactly happen.
Right.
Like, because you're not filling glasses of water.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we can set out 3 2-cup measures and put a 3rd cup of water into each of them.
Right.
That would be equal.
Right.
that's not how dating multiple people works.
Ah,
Like sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's not even water.
no, normally it's whiskey, but that's the side of the point. Anyhow, every relationship is different. Every one of them. Believe me, I've dated enough men. Every man is different. Everything is different. All the tools don't work for one that work for another. Like me and you, we operate off a schedule. Hand the invisible a planner, and he will roll his eyes at me, and it will gather dust on his desk till the kingdom come. However, be 5 minutes late taking him to work, and the ceiling will raise in the house.
Yes, there's suddenly a change in air pressure in the building.
Yes.
Like, so there's a definite focus on being on time and timeliness. That like I'm sorry, I plan to be early. Like this is my general life plan. Is like show up early, take some extra time just in case like shit happens. And so like I typically arrive early and it's no big deal. And like, okay, I wasted some of my time because I'm early. Or sometimes I get into the thing early, so I get out of the thing early and it's all fine. Or something horrible happens along the way and I have a buffer.
Right.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. However, him, he has a set time. He's ready to go to work. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
And that's okay. That's his personality.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yeah. And then like also have a different approach mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it is different. And it showed up more in our relationship. Though that would also be a contrast between the relationships. Is like I do not get upset if I'm late. Not generally speaking, because I'm like, for whatever reason, I wasn't supposed to be on time.
Right.
Like I've adopted that mentally because like I've seen some shit in my ears.
Right.
And it's like if I had been on time that morning,
right,
that might be my car.
Right.
That got slammed into in the intersection that's now getting hauled off.
Right.
Like, because if I were running on time, that could have been me.
Right.
And maybe that's wrong and like my calculations are off or whatever, but it's like I'm not chancing it. Like the universe decided today is not your day to be on time. Okay, all right, this is what we're doing. Like we're just gonna ride it.
So guys, if you're watching Sister Wives, realize that it's not what we're talking about. And Cody is a terrible hinge. Christine's a better hinge.
Dude.
Christina was a better hinge, but she has a relationship with Mary and Leon.
True.
She even talks and calls Leon still Mary's only son that's transgender.
Mm-hmm.
She raised the kids, and Janelle worked full time. Murray worked full time. Like she was the better hinge in that relationship, and in general.
Do you think it's basically he's one of those people that just offloads and delegates to hell and back? And like that was supposed to be someone else's job, is like go be the hinge in functionality, not like, the penis in the bedroom, but go functionally be the hinge. Go, one of you go be my secretary and make the hinge thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
And they all just went, no.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, like looking at it, it has been the most confusing thing ever in general. And it's like, dude, do your job. It ain't hard. do your job. Call your children. Send them Christmas presents. Buy Christmas presents for your other partner. Stop making the rest of us look bad.
And don't shower all your affection on one partner. Like that's polyamory. That's not polyamory. That is monogamy.
Yes.
With side pieces.
Yeah.
Like you like, I'm sorry. Try not to use the word mistress when I say I bought my wife a house and then I sent roses on Valentine's Day.
Right.
To the other women I'm seeing. Sounds like mistress. Doesn't sound like you have a co-equal relationship there or any kind of equity in a relationship there.
Right.
Like that is a huge disparity kind of thing.
Right.
And like, I think they would have been thrilled if he had just been like, I bought her a house, I got you roses.
Yeah.
Like, I tried. I'm stupid. I'm bad at this.
Or I went and tucked the kids in tonight because I know you're working.
But I bought her a house.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think the bar in his other relationships was so damn low.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I said kind words to you today.
Right.
Would have been like, oh, yes.
True. You know, but you know what was even hilarious, and I found it was hilarious, maybe other people did, was that, you know, you thought that I was getting mad at the two of you the other day. These two were going at it. Like they were having a full, enamorous conversation, and they both look at me like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, we were having an animated conversation. I was getting so lost. Like, we weren't fighting. We were debating heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Brenda would love it, I think. She would have fun with it. Because we were we were trying to figure out who the ultimate Scream Queen survivor was.
Right.
And then we were debating whether some movie characters counted as Scream Queens based on what kind of movie genre it was, based on whether it had more than one movie. You know, like how big's the franchise, because that matters. Like, and then we got into a whole separate discussion about who the ultimate killer was.
Mm-hmm.
And again, went through the same thing. Like, is it a franchise? Does that count? You know. Yeah, it was fun. We were having fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they were just all into it. I'm like, finally, 6 damn years, you two get it.
Like, we don't have a lot of long animated conversations, but yeah, that one, like, that piqued both our interests. So we were like, well, you know, depending.
Yeah.
Like, how you count it. But yeah, so basically, Sydney from the Scream franchise is the ultimate survivor. And then it turns out, like, there's apparently web pages devoted to this concept. Depending upon, like, there's whole rankings for like murderers. And technically, if you want to go by sheer volume, Hellraiser is the ultimate killer.
See, I thought it was the Puppet Master. Something about the Puppet Master.
No, I don't.
Saul.
No, not Saul. Yeah, no, Sydney, Scream franchise, the woman who survives every single time and ends up on the ranch alone.
Yeah.
I think it is Sydney Prescott. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sydney's the ultimate survivor, because I kept thinking maybe I thought it was going to be Halloween's Jamie Lee Curtis, which finally I said her name in the right context. Thank God.
Yes.
But yeah, Hellraiser has a body count. I did not realize. Took me by surprise that, like, move over. I really somehow in my head I thought it was going to be Freddy. Right. And it's like Freddy is like you poor impotent bastard. Like you ain't even close. Like you like in a Miss America contest of murderous serial killers, you are like the 50th state.
Right.
Like you like no one cared. You screwed up on day one when it's like, I don't know what my name is. I think I'm representing insert state, and you were wrong.
Yeah. All right. Yes. But no, it's quite interesting when them two go out and get into really good conversation.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. But, you know, they both live in the same house. I live in the house with them. There isn't that, like, there is no way for him to say that he was at Robin's house in the office or the garage, because that's where his car was kept, and not say he was spending more time with Robin. No way at all. You know, like, dude, you fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Not once, not twice, but now 3 times.
But yeah.
All right, let's go see if you're the asshole. Yes, you are the asshole for refusing homemade coffee over Dunkin's.
Like, Dunkin'. No. I think awkward as it was, Parker was trying to do a kind thing and be interactive in the office, in the workplace, and was trying to be funny. Yeah. And it didn't hit right. And I get that. And sometimes that also reads way different. So yeah, I think you need to reevaluate and maybe offer up that apology.
Yes. All right, guys. We will see you Sunday for Psyche the Plants. Talk to you later. Bye, y'all.
Hey, roll that beautiful.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcsbnetwork.com.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you Sunday. Bye.
Bye.